Welcome back, nerds.
We're your hosts this week. I'm Chad.
And I'm Jake. This week we are sponsored by Crybaby Craig's Hot Sauce, the best damn hot sauce around.
We're also sponsored by Ray's Energy Drinks, an awesome energy drink with 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 crash.
This week we will be talking about upcoming Marvel stuff. They dropped a new trailer for all of Phase 4, and we're going to dive into that a little bit.
Yeah, and this week we'll also be talking with, we'll be joined later in this episode by a very special guest who is using his nerdiness to give back to his community.
In the coolest way, yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. So let's get into it. This is the All Things Nerd Podcast.
Nerd. Welcome back, you nerds, to another episode of the All Things Nerd Podcast, your weekly dive into all things nerd. So, Jake.
That's me. What's up?
Yeah, how's your week been?
It's been pretty cool, man. Work, life.
Balance?
I feel like what did you say?
I said balance because you said work and life, like the work-life balance.
Yeah.
That was a bad joke, I'm sorry.
No, it's been pretty chill. Something really exciting is that I'm coming out there to O Stupido in like
Hell
4
yeah.
days. Yeah.
Yeah, like 4.5 days. You come out Friday morning.
Early Friday. I have to be at the airport at like 4:30 in the morning, which means I have to leave my house at like earlier than that. It's gonna suck.
Because of the time difference, I get to sleep in until like 9:30. 9,
Yeah.
so I can take my dog out. Yeah. But yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of fun though. I'm super excited about it. We're gonna probably do a little drinking, and by a little I mean not so little.
Yeah, like a very minute amount. Like less than usual.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, so it'll be it'll be the first episode where we're back in the same room since I moved, which will be awesome for next week. And then we also have our live stream on the 15th,
Woo-hoo.
which is going to be awesome because I checked the weather this morning and it changed from what I told you, Jake. It's going to be like sunny and 70.
Yeah.
Instead
I'm excited.
of rainy.
A little bit of a
Snowed
difference
today. It sucked.
Yeah. This will actually be the first live stream since back together since our first one.
Yeah. I mean, this is only our third live episode.
Yeah. But
we've done
crazy,
like small live streams, or I have, of like gameplay, but we'll be back together.
We'll probably also be doing some like Twitch, like video gaming while I'm out there, and
absolutely, we're gonna play some zombies for sure. Maybe some because we've talked so much already on the show about Marvel. We might have to play some Marvel Avengers and stream it and see how that goes. But yeah, we're just gonna get a little rowdy and have
we're gonna be total dorks with cameras for 2 days straight.
We're gonna be those people that you laugh at that walk around, the town square with a camera and like, what am I doing? It's like that's us. That will be us.
We're kind of hoping to get some like interaction with people, maybe like while we're live streaming, see if we can get like maybe some trivia or something going. Or
yeah, I think that'd be fun to ask some random people.
Yeah.
On the streets, some random nerd trivia, and some of the non-live stream videos of that will probably end up on our Patreon page, just of some behind the scenes, to give back to those of you that subscribe on a monetary value. Also, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Jesus. And then we also, not thank you, Jesus, but like, thank you. And then I said Jesus because I kept clearing my throat into my microphone.
Well, I mean, if that's what you believe, then you can say that too. That's fine. We're not here to judge. Unless you're a piece of shit, then we'll judge hard.
Like, we'll be hard when we judge.
So hard. Sorry.
Sorry, Mom.
Yeah, sorry, Mom. I'm glad you said that, because we didn't... For our second segment, we actually got a chance to do an interview with an independent comic book writer and artist and illustrator. And we weren't able to sneak that into our interview, so I'm glad we got it out of the way right away.
Yeah.
Right away. Oh, a bit strong for you? Did you bring some extra to fix it?
Put a little pizzazz in there by accident. We'll add a little more soda here. And
so are you saying that, like, if you could taste jazz hands, that's what you just had?
Oh, it's this way. Oh, this is Spirit Fingers. Damn it.
Spirit Fingers, jazz hands.
Damn it.
Jazz hands is the exact same thing as a clapping for someone that knows ASL.
Oh.
I tried to phrase it. I can cut that. I tried my best. I'll cut that. I'll cut that. I tried to do it in the nicest way possible, but I will cut that. Yeah.
It was probably fine until I went, oh.
Well,
you know what we should do?
I will save that clip, send it to you, and you can send it to her. And if she says yes, then I'll leave it in.
I was going to say, you should leave everything that we just did in except for what we were talking about. So everyone's like, wait, what?
Oh.
What did you get? Other than this fucking train wreck that just happened, how was your fucking week been, man?
It's been fine. I've been cooped up a lot. It's been kind of rainy this whole week, and
snowing a little bit this morning. You snapped me.
Yeah, it was so gross. I woke up and I was like, oh, it's raining. That's going to be fun. And then I got dressed to take my dog out, and literally in that amount of time, it turned to freezing rain and snow, and I was like, fuck. I was not excited about it. She wasn't excited about it. When I took her outside, she literally just there's a tree right outside the door of the apartment, and she just went under that and squatted and peed and then just stood there and was like, are we done?
and by she, Chad is talking about his girlfriend, not his dog.
Yeah, so I don't have a dog. Yeah. Oh, you can't see her. She's on the edge of the bed. Yeah, I don't have a dog. Fuck.
Oh, yeah. Anyway.
So, but also this week, Jake, Marvel put out a promo video for Phase 4.
Yeah.
But only of their feature films, not touching on their TV shows, so we don't get anything about Loki, Hawkeye, Miss Marvel, but all of the films that are included in Phase 4.
You know what the one annoying thing about that was for me is that they released that preview the day after we recorded our last episode. I was like, "Ah, goddamn you guys!"
That's true. And then I've seen it everywhere since.
Yeah. But so exciting. I mean, even though they're just basically very small clips and the title reviews of which we'll get into a little bit later on, but
yeah, and
or is it now?
A second. I mean,
is that now?
That was kind of your segue.
That was my segue. Yeah, at some point I was supposed to say, so let's talk Marvel, but I didn't do it.
On top of his game.
We're really good at this. So yeah, this is
at what this?
Both
or just talking? All
of it.
More the first.
So we're excuse me.
Talking comes second. Just never mind. I'm not gonna say we already apologized to our mothers. It's Mother's Day today while we're recording, so can't be too gross.
So this is Phase 4. This is the feature film part of Phase 4. Obviously, we're in Phase 4 with the TV shows. We had WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki coming next month in June, and but these are the films that are coming in the near future for Phase 4, and we get the title reveals of these movies, along with a couple clips here and there, and fucking, I went from 6 to midnight pretty quick.
He had to tuck it in his waistband, is what he had to do.
Yeah, I came in my belly button.
I hear it feels great.
He's doing it right now.
Sorry, Mom. But I mean, some of them we already knew the official titles for, like Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness, you know, Thor, Love and Thunder.
Yeah. Eternals. Yeah.
Eternals. Spider-Man, No Way Home.
No Way Home. Yep.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I mean,
but some of the cooler ones was Black Panther 2.
Yeah, which they're calling Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And a lot of it from
You didn't even do it, man. Come on.
You think that a duck should be doing that? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a side reference to something that you might get later. If not,
yeah.
Fine. I mean, we got
Guardians.
Wakanda Forever for Black Panther 2 instead of just Black Panther 2. We get, instead of Captain Marvel 2, The Marvels, which is dope.
Which is, you give away one, I'll give away the other.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, in the logo for the film, instead of showing Captain Marvel's Star Force logo, it shows a modified one that mimics Monica Rambeau's Photon from the comics.
And who's Monica Rambeau?
She is the daughter of Maria Rambeau, a.k.a. Carol Danvers' best friend from the 90s and before that. But she was also in WandaVision. She was the one that gained powers by pushing through the hex, and we got to see a glimpse of her powers throughout the later episodes of WandaVision. But so we're gonna get to see more of her. And what else?
And also at the end of the logo, they throw an S on the end of it, and the way that the S looks is from Miss Marvel, which we know we get the TV show coming out on Disney Plus. So the
late this year, early next year.
Yeah,
they don't have an official release, but
the next Captain Marvel movie is just called The Marvels, and it's going to be Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau, which her name is. I don't know why I keep finger gunning you. I'm like, what's her name?
I think that they're going to go with Photon. But in the comics, she's had a handful of superhero names. She even replaces Captain Marvel at one point in in certain comic storylines. So,
and then we get Miss Marvel, which is a teenage Pakistani kid, which I think is amazing.
Pakistani American,
yeah,
which is also even, I think, cooler. She's the daughter of an immigrant.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be really, really cool.
And her favorite superhero is Captain Marvel.
Yeah. So she styles her costume kind of after Captain Marvel.
Colors, name, yeah. But what's really cool about Miss Marvel is now in the official MCU, we get the Inhumans. Because she's, speculation, but she's technically an Inhuman in the comics. So hopefully they go with that and introduce the Inhumans. Because they were introduced in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and in the video game, but
it was also a TV show too. It only lasted
that's
one season.
right. Yeah, they only got one season, and then it was canceled because
it sucked.
Well, that's not why it was canceled. It was canceled before it released because Marvel was like, "Nope, we're not doing basic cable anymore. ABC, you don't get any more Marvel rights." That's why it was canceled. But yes, also the TV show was not good. Even though it was more true to the comics about the moon people.
Well, moving on just a little bit further here, we also get Ant-Man. The title for this movie is Ant-Man Quantumania, which we believe that we're going to see. Well, we know this technically. Is Kang the Conqueror is coming to film.
Oh,
yeah, we don't know anything.
We do know that because he's been confirmed.
Kang the Conqueror is coming to the big screen. That's going to be huge. I also know the actor that is playing him. I forgot his name just now, and that's really dumb of me. But he was the main character in the HBO series
Lovecraft, right?
Lovecraft Country.
Yeah,
Lovecraft Country.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, that's awesome.
Phenomenal. Yeah. And then we also get our first...
I almost finger gunned you again. What the hell is going on with me? What is that? I've never done that to anybody in my entire life, and now I'm just like 5 times in a row. Like, hey, finger guns.
Hey, but if you do it, at least make a clicking noise or a pew, 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 pew.
Check you later. You're such a dork, man.
Pew, 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 pew.
That was a Dazed and Confused reference. You didn't catch it. It's okay.
No, I didn't. I went straight to Grandma's Boy.
Yeah, it's like when Matthew McConaughey is trying to holler at the redhead, and then the crazy stoner dude with like super long hair and like the golfer's hat, he's like, "Check you later," and they're like, "Why'd you do that, man?" So, it's funny.
I'm sorry, I was just being a dick about it. No, Dazed and Confused is great. But
the big reveal. You go ahead. You go for it.
Well, we get our first. It's kind of a teaser for the Eternals.
Oh, the trailer for Eternals.
Yeah. Well, it's not even a full trailer. It's literally just we get a couple of
little clips. Yeah.
Little clips about them coexisting in the past, in modern day, in the Wild West. Because we know that the show is going to span centuries. Yep. And what's really cool, though, is that the director, now I feel like a dick, also, because I should have looked this up, she is the first Oscar winner director to helm a Marvel film. And what's cool is that there's so little CGI that goes into this film, supposedly. Like, majority of the shots of the landscapes and stuff like that, like, it was shot real time with practical effects. Yeah. Which, for me, I mean, I'm a photographer and videographer, partially amateurly, let's just say that. So, like, I'm excited just to see, like, incredible cinematography that uses practical effects. And it looked good just from those little bits. But we also get some Shang-Chi in this teaser.
I think, sorry, just to go back to Eternals for a second, just because I have to mention this. I know a lot of the people who listen to this are like my family members and stuff, who are also Indian. But Kumail Nanjiani, who is going to play one of the Eternals, is hiding on, well, not hiding, but the whole thing is that they're all blending in on Earth, and he's blending in as a Bollywood actor. So this, which blows my mind, we're gonna get a very big Bollywood like music. Like song, like in a Marvel movie, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, that, as someone that is not of Indian descent, again, duck. What?
I just went dot. You said duck.
Well, yeah, because white.
And, I know. I get it.
And then you made me look like a fucking dick by like. Thank you.
You're fine.
Thank you, Jake.
You're fine.
Well, if you say so. I even forgot where I was going with this.
You said someone who is not of Indian descent.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I think that that's awesome to just get. Obviously, like in the comics, the Marvel comics, like some of the diversity, especially from the older comics, is very stereotypical. But to actually get it in an MCU film is fucking awesome.
Yeah, super stoked about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then like you said, Shang-Chi is coming. I just wanted to bring that little part up because I'm half Indian, and I think that's going to be so cool.
Absolutely. And I'm excited for it. When you told me that, because like, like I haven't watched many Bollywood films, but like there's so much energy behind them. It's fantastic. I'm excited to actually see that, like
in a fucking Marvel movie, dude. That's crazy.
That, but also just outside of a Bollywood film.
Bollywood,
yeah. It doesn't, not even superhero, just a mainstream Hollywood film, which is fucking dope. But yeah, and then we get Shang-Chi.
Yeah, the full trailer for Shang-Chi is out, and that looks so sick.
Yeah, and like you'll hear a little bit later on, Jake and I, the gentleman that we introduced, his name is Jerry Ma. He's fucking dope.
Yeah.
But at first, Shang-Chi was, everyone was like, oh, it's just gonna be a cliche like kung fu movie, but it looks so good. It establishes a lot of backstory, even just in the trailer. And it's gonna be so cool. I'm so excited for this. But how does the Marvel Phase 4 trailer teaser end, Jake?
Fantastic Four. We finally get, I mean, we don't get any clips or anything. They just show the logo for Fantastic Four, which, if you were an avid listener, Chad and I think anyway, we don't know anything about these movies other than what's been released, but we strongly feel that the Fantastic Four are the group of astronauts in WandaVision that Tyler Hayward said went missing during the snap. So I'm pretty sure that's the Fantastic Four, and we're pretty sure that they're going to be the last movie in Phase 4, and that's going to really bring in whoever the big bad is going to be.
Yeah, moving forward, but also on top of that, just the fact that it's included in this teaser means that we're going to get Fantastic Four so much sooner than what everybody thought. Because most of these movies are going to come out this year, next year, early 2023.
2023, yeah. So over the,
I would assume
in the next 2 years. We'll have all of these movies plus the TV shows that we're already watching, and
a couple that we didn't even mention. Like we get Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Yeah. We get, obviously this year we get Spider-Man No Way Home, and Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Yep.
So they call it the Marvel Cinematic Universe, not just the Marvel Cinematic Movies, because it's so vast and expansive, and we're gonna get to see it.
We'll get to see him.
Oh yeah. Oh, I can't point to that. I like put my finger up like I was gonna point at a thing, and my hand disappeared. Oh, that's embarrassing.
For those of you who don't watch the YouTube channel, I was pointing at Ben Grimm, who's behind me. The thing, you will.
But yeah, so we're gonna get to see that. We're gonna get to see, like Jake said, we think that that's really going to introduce the big bad for the next phase or few, which is just exciting. Yeah,
because if you remember when they originally introduced Thanos was in the first Avengers movie, and he
closed out phase 1.
Yeah, he literally went all the way to the end. So I'm thinking phase 4 is going to be a build up. And then Fantastic Four is going to introduce who the big bad's going to be. And in my opinion, I think it's going to be Galactus.
I think that you're right.
Yeah.
And I don't like to fully agree with you on everything. But there's Who else is it going to be? It can't. Dr. Doom can't be the big bad.
He'll be a big bad.
He will be a
sure.
bad.
Yeah.
He will be a bigger bad moving forward, but I don't think he's.
He'll be so bad.
The big bad. But yeah, so with that being said, Jake, why don't you tell them a little bit about our first sponsor before we get into the next part?
All right, so we're gonna, plug Crybaby Craig's again here. So listen up for a minute, and you'll hear all about it.
Yeah. Hey, you nerds! Do you love spice? Supporting small businesses? What about enhancing the flavor of your favorite foods? If you said yes to any of those, our good friends over at Crybaby Craig's have the perfect solution for you. Crybaby Craig's is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes perfectly with your favorite foods, adding the perfect amount of spice and enhancing the flavor of everything it touches. Started in Minneapolis by Craig back in 2012, Crybaby Craig's has become a Minneapolis and Minnesota staple in the sauce world. So head over to crybabycraigs.com and order yours today. So, welcome back, guys. To finish out this week's episode, we have an awesome guest. He is a graphic designer, illustrator, and he's working on a new reimagination of The Monkey King as a graphic novel. Yeah. So, Jake, go ahead and introduce him.
Yeah, so, guys, this is Jerry Ma.
Yeah, let's give him a special cheers and welcome.
Hey, absolutely.
Yeah, so thanks, Jerry, for joining us this week.
Oh, thanks for having me. Seriously, it's an honor to be on, man.
Yeah, man, we're super excited about this. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself? Who is Jerry Ma?
So I'm just a graphic designer and illustrator. I'm New York-based. I make my real living designing graphic T-shirts. So I'm currently working on a few different lines of T-shirts for the NBPA in China. I just started a new project for Vibe magazine Hong Kong and B2 Music in Hong Kong. And then in between I try to do some comic stuff, and I also have my own line of T-shirts that I make.
Awesome. Now, so I read that you're drawn to art from a very young age. What drove you to actually pursue art as your life or as your career?
You know, growing up, my family, we did not have too much money. So, you know, my father immigrated here from Taiwan, and he came here with literally just $1,000 and essentially lived the American dream. That being said, I have two brothers. So we got $1 a week allowance, which even back then wasn't much. But if we pooled it together, we could go get a couple comics. And that was kind of a release from life, honestly. You know, you got to enter a whole new world, and your creativity, your imagination just goes wild. So my older brother, who was kind of the leader of this, he championed us into Dungeons and Dragons comics. He also forced me and my younger brother to play sports. He really kind of showed us all the things like a teenager, well, at least I guess a teenager at the time would be doing.
Yeah.
So he really taught me and my younger brother about music, comics, books, movies, everything. My dad he was working literally from 7 a.m. till 11:30 p.m. every day.
Oh my goodness.
7 days a week.
Wow,
that's insane.
Yeah. So that's how we got into comic books, just because we really didn't have much in means of recreation, if you will. You know?
Yeah. Do you have a favorite comic?
Oh yeah. I grew up on Power Man and Iron Fist, man. John Byrne's Power Man and Iron Fist is everything to me.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's iconic. Also, my single favorite comic of all time is Teen Titans X-Men by Walt Simonson. That to me was kind of
awesome.
Yeah, the comic to read. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Do you get into like TV shows and stuff too? Then, do you watch Titans on HBO?
Yeah, probably most comic illustrators or most graphic designers, most illustrators, you're gonna have multiple monitors while you're working. Like I have my Cintiq, which is literally right here, and then this is my iMac monitor. So when I'm working on either or, I just have like movies or TV shows playing on. I'll plow through like a season of Game of Thrones in one day.
Oh yeah,
it's just on, and I just let it. Watch every season of Game of Thrones about 10 times, literally.
Oh my god, yeah. I'm on my like 3rd time right now. My girlfriend has never watched it before, so I'm getting her to watch it right now. So, yeah. How did you feel about the ending of Game of Thrones?
I mean, it started falling apart for me around like season 5 and after.
When they ran out of source material.
Yeah, I mean the first 4 seasons really are mad.
Yeah.
Like,
they're
seasons
amazing.
3 and 4 are just hands down unbelievable.
Yeah.
But then after a while,
yeah.
But when I took a break from it for like 3 months.
It's a long break.
And I watched the last season over again, and I was like, after I took a break and rewatched it again, I was like, I mean, it's not awful.
You're less upset about it?
It's a little more acceptable to me after I had some time to think about it.
Sure.
Process it.
You know, look, it's obviously it's not great at the end.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as painful the 10th time.
Yeah.
You get to soften your blow a little.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, to get back on track a little bit, what about the Monkey King made you want to reimagine it?
I mean, the Monkey King is it's a cherished, and I mean a cherished story, mythical story for Chinese Americans, or I should just say Chinese people, or probably even just Asian people in general.
Sure.
But for me, growing up, you know, as an Asian American, we even, you know, forget about back then, even now, we don't really get to see too many stories that reflect our culture or people that look like us.
Yeah.
So growing up, having the Monkey King available to me was unbelievable. The fact that my mom would watch it with me meant everything, you know. He's essentially China's answer to Spider-Man. You know, he's like the first Chinese superhero, the first Asian superhero.
Yeah.
And it's always been dear to my heart. I've always kind of wanted to tell this story, but never really had the nuts to do it. But that being said, as you guys probably know by now, the Monkey King gets rebooted like at least 3 times a year.
Yeah.
You know, in some kind of fashion, whether it's a book or a TV show or a movie, it's definitely rebooted multiple times every year. And every time it gets rebooted, I can't help but feel like all they do is they focus on the kung fu and the action aspect of it, which I understand why. And they give, you know, the Monkey King like shinier armor and more intricate armor. And again, I understand why. But they kind of lost the gist of the story, which at the heart of the story, China was kind of in trouble back then, at least in this version of the story, in the original story. And they were sent, the Tripitaka, who's the name of the monk was sent to find people to help him journey west to India to discover Buddhism, take those teachings, bring it back to China to save China. So of course there's action, of course there's kung fu, but it's kind of about enlightenment. And I know it's kind of corny, but to me, it's more about like magic and adventure that a lot of these reboots have kind of lost sight of. So my version of it, not only am I putting it in Chinatown, New York today, and their journey west is to Chinatown in San Francisco.
That's awesome.
But, you know, I'm trying to focus more on the adventure aspect of it. I'm trying to make it a little more wacky, a little more funny. You know, before I started, as a independent comic creator, I'm not embarrassed to say, like, you know, as I don't want to say like a wannabe, but an aspiring comic artist, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, everyone tends to make whenever they make a new project, they make it dark, edgy, violent. You know, make it more violent, like John Wick. You know, and the truth is, like, what the fuck? Are we allowed to curse on this?
Oh, hell
fucking
yeah.
swear away, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, what the fuck do I know about killing someone? You know, like, seriously, I don't know shit about taking someone's life with my own hands.
Right.
Or, you know, pulling the trigger of a gun. I don't know any of that. I'm just making shit up when I do that.
Yeah.
So what I do know is like drinking, eating, kind of like having a goofy time and all that. And I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna speak to that part of my personality. It's gonna be a little more organic, And the Monkey King, he is like kind of like the god of mischief. So he should be funny. He shouldn't be Bruce Lee, Everyone wants him to be Bruce Lee, but he's Jackie Chan,
Yeah.
So like I wanted to focus more on that part of it, and I think it's so far somewhat successful with that.
Oh yeah. Even though unfortunately I watched in your words, the shit version of the Monkey King. I did. That was one of the things that I did pull from that, is that he's a troublemaker for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I would recommend The Chinese Odyssey, starring Stephen Chow, the guy that's in Shaolin Cowboy, Kung Fu.
From the 80s, right?
Soccer, and Kung Fu Hustle. That is to me by far like the best movie version.
Hell yeah! Okay. I wrote it down already. I'm definitely checking it out. That makes me so angry because there was like 5 different ones to choose from, and I was like,
we were talking about it the other day. Like we both pulled them up. We're like, which one? We don't know. There's so many.
I even watched. You're gonna laugh, but as part of my research for this comic, obviously I went back and I bought a bunch of children's books, and I'll explain why later. But I watched. There's a Netflix series of the Monkey King.
Yeah,
it's starring like all non-Asian people.
Oh, the new one, right?
Yeah. So I remember when that came out, it got a lot of grief because like it's a Chinese myth. It's like
and they whitewashed it. That was like a huge thing for it.
I actually watched that intentionally, and I sat through like 8 episodes of that, so that I knew what not to do. And I paid so much attention to it. I swear to God, just so I wouldn't make.
You almost finished the series. There's only 10 episodes.
It's just unbearable.
Because I read about it, and then I read about the controversy behind it, and I was like, maybe not this one.
Yeah.
When we talked about it, Jake was like, yeah, we shouldn't do this one.
I want to make sure I don't do any of the mistakes that they made. And all kidding aside, I learned a lot from watching it.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've kind of already started talking about, you're reimagining the Monkey King, kind of taking it back to like its moral roots. So tell us about the Kickstarter.
Sure. So it all began back in one of the 3 things I got to do in 2020 was I had a solo art show at Pearl River here in Chinatown, New York, which Pearl River is like an iconic New York store and gallery. And more importantly, it's iconic in Chinatown. So I had an art show there which consisted of 8 pieces, all on the Monkey King in Chinatown, like 80s, 90s Chinatown, New York. And while I was setting up the show, there's like, they have like 3 or 4 different people that work at the gallery that were helping me out. And they're all, I want to say like in their 20s. So they're pretty young. And none of them have read or watched Monkey King before. And the reason was because all the reboots, they just kind of get, shinier armor, more kung fu. It just seems kind of stupid, a lot of CGI. And they were looking at my art show and they're like, because in my art show I have Monkey wearing like a hoodie and he's got these Nikes on and everything, and it was a little more relatable to them. And they were all saying like, if this was like a film or a comic, we would happily read it or watch it. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Like, cool, nice, good idea, little girl. And then I'm like, that's a ton of work. Like whatever. I got a life to live. I can't do that. But then the pandemic hit. And the lockdown comes, and I'm at home, and I was just like, "Well, fuck! I'm just gonna do it now. Like, I'm gonna stay productive during this lockdown." And I started working on the book, and it's a lot about Chinatown, New York. It's very New York centric. It's a lot about self-discovery and all that stuff, but it really is like kind of my love letter to Chinatown, New York, as Chinatown is getting a little gentrified now, and it's changing. And I wanted to kind of remember the Chinatown that I grew up with and loved, which is why. So with this Kickstarter, our stretch goals are a little more unique than probably other Kickstarters. I was kind of thinking like instead of giving people like bookmarks and stickers and stuff stuff that they really don't care for. Maybe some people care about that. I would think, I'd like to think, but instead of wasting my money on that, why don't I actually give some of the money back to small businesses in Chinatown? You know, my family, we have a small business ourselves, and we know how difficult times are nowadays. And we don't have a restaurant. You know, there's a lot of sympathy for restaurants, and justifiably so, but there are more businesses than just restaurants, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is kind of my way to, I mean, it's not much money that we're donating, but it's what I can do. So, and you know, during, after the shootings at the spa in Atlanta, which was back in like mid-March, like most Asian Americans, I think I was pretty upset, pretty angry. And I kind of made an emotional decision. I was like, you know, the next 2 weeks for the rest of this month, I'm just going to donate all the money I make from my online sales to like Stop Asian Hate. And it ended up being like $2,500, which again, I know it's not like a ton of money, but for me, it's kind of a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so I was so proud to like donate. I go to this website, click donate. I was like, awesome. But then I'm just like, it also felt a little hollow, you know? You don't really see anyone get any help. So then I decided for these stretch goals, I'm just going to go ahead and hand deliver $250 cash to X amount of businesses in Chinatown. And like, for example, one of them that I'm definitely going to do is the Chinatown Ice Cream Factory, because I grew up eating that ice cream. So I'm going to go in there and buy like one scoop of ice cream for like $3 or whatever it costs. I'm just going to give them like $253 and tell them to keep the change. You know, like,
yeah, dude.
Like, and then on my way out, I'll explain to them why I'm doing that so they don't think I'm crazy. And then I'm just going to do that to like a bunch of small businesses. I'm just going to buy the cheapest thing there and then tell them to keep the change, you know?
Fuck yeah, man.
That's incredible.
I just want them to know like they're remembered, they're not forgotten. And hopefully it can kind of inspire other people to just do what they can, you know?
Yeah. Well, we will definitely be donating to the Kickstarter. We're also, you know, we'll put it on our website and stuff, and hopefully we can get some people to donate as well.
I mean, I got the link from you and Alan, but yeah, we'll include it in our show notes for the next several weeks while the Kickstarter is still running.
Yeah.
But on top of that, yeah, I mean, we do giveaways for all of our live episodes. So we already talked about, you know, we're gonna hop on there and, you know.
Well, how about we give away some T-shirts that I made?
Hell yeah.
Hey, if you're
cool with that, then we'll
definitely do that.
This is my Player Select T-shirt. It's basically a Street Fighter themed shirt with all the fighters that I wish were actually, you know, in the game. You got the Shogun of Harlem. You got Iko from the Raid. You got Andre the Giant. You got Mr.
Anybody
Miyagi.
want a peanut?
Mr. Miyagi.
You got a bunch of killer fighters, and you know who do you choose? You know,
That's
badass.
Yeah,
let's totally give away. Let's give away 3 T-shirts. 3 is my favorite number.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Sorry to take you out of that interview with Jerry. We do just need to quickly talk about our second sponsor this week, which is Raise Energy Drinks. So please just listen up for a quick bit. You'll hear a little bit about it, and then we'll get right back into it. What's up, nerds? I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about Raise Energy, an incredible energy drink that provides max energy with zero crash. Raise Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high-quality formula to bring a powerful, yet sustained, energetic experience to help you push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, empowered by their Refresh formula technology, Raise Energy delivers a performance-enhancing energy drink that aids in multiple different categories that include targeted focus, better recovery time, improved clean energy levels, and a boost in stamina and hydration. But most importantly, every can of Raise Energy has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. So don't settle for an energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, head over to repsports.com. That's REPPSPORTS.com and use the promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout for 15% off your order. Or if you don't know what you want, go ahead and click the link that's in the description to get a $50 sample pack for free. All you do is you cover the cost of shipping. Again, make sure you use promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout to let them know that we sent you.
All right, guys, let's get back into it with Jerry.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So my next question already kind of got answered, so I'm gonna skip it and skip ahead to my next one. But so if your vision of Monkey King ever got
hang on, Jake. Sorry not to cut
What?
you off. Just because you kind of already talked about how when you were at Pearl River, you just started with, a few prints that kind of garnered the momentum for this entire project. With that artwork and just your artwork in general, are there any like indie artists, major artists, anything like that really influence your style? Or
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, influences. There's so many. Every artist always gets asked this, and you pull influences from so many, inspiration from so many different places. Honestly, as cliche as it might sound, New York is absolutely my biggest, inspiration. But then, as the more typical answer, you got the typical like John Byrne, Walt Simonson, Jeff Darrow, Jim Lee, Travis Sharris. The list, honestly, it can go on and on. John Paul Leon, Bernard Chang, Cliff Chang, all these guys. Like, there's so many. You can learn so much from all these guys, but you really got to look at real life and real things. But what's funny about it is, I've never considered myself like the most dynamic or exciting artist. I'm more detail oriented, So when I started the work for that art show, I made a conscious decision to like, I'm going to Jeff Darrow the hell out of these pieces. Jeff Darrow is like, he's all about small details. And I'm just going to draw every brick. I'm going to draw every tile on the wall, every brick, on the ground. I'm going to draw every piece of trash that's floating around. I'm going to totally Jeff Darrow this thing, So the reason why that is important is because Jeff Darrow is actually drawing the cover for my book.
That's literally what I was just doing, because you said Jeff Darrow, and I was like, that name sounds so familiar, from something that I literally just read today. And it's because I was on the Kickstarter, and I was like, who is doing those variant covers for you? So I was like quickly trying to do it poorly.
Is that who you were talking about before we started recording that called you this morning?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. That's
No, but he's like one of my artistic heroes, and I've had the honor of getting to know him. And he's made a couple T-shirts with me. He actually drew a cover for my last book, Legend. And yeah, he's been a good friend for, I'm not even sure. It's been a while now.
Dude, that's so cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and actually Jeff was kind of the one that championed this second surge of donation money, if you will. Because, obviously I'm paying everyone that's working on this project. And Jeff, after he saw that I donated money already, he called me and he's like, I've made a lot of money off the Asian culture. And after I saw what you did, I think I want to donate my pay to help stop Asian hate. So that's how I got back into the conversation, where it felt a little hollow to just click on a button. So then we talked about it a little bit more, and then we were like, fuck it, let's just hand deliver cash to small businesses.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Hell yeah. So anyways, my last one kind of got answered a while ago, but if your vision of the Monkey King ever got adapted into film, whether it be a live action or animation, who do you have anybody that comes to mind who you would want to play for either a voice actor or a live action?
I'm actually talking, and this is very, 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 very preliminary, but it's been floated out there for animated film.
Dude, that's awesome.
That's incredible.
Because it is, again, I'm not trying to brag, but I do think this is a very original take on the Monkey King, and it's definitely a new, fresh facelift for him. So I do think it's kind of necessary to just renew interest in this brand.
Yeah.
But I've always, because the Monkey King is, he's kind of a wise ass. And I have a friend of mine who's an actor. His name is Parry Shen. He was the star of the movie Better Luck Tomorrow, and he's now on General Hospital. But he's, when you watch his work, he's a very serious actor. He's an amazing actor. He really is. But knowing him, he's kind of a snarky, wise ass.
Okay.
And he's really funny. And he would really be perfect as the Monkey King. And for Pigsy, Pigsy is supposed to be a guy. I've converted Pigsy into a girl because I just think it's cooler. And I can't help but think Missy Elliott would be so awesome.
Missy Elliott?
I just think she'd be so cool. She'd be so freaking cool, But
that's badass.
That's as far as I got with who I would think,
Right on.
That's pretty cool.
No, that's awesome. Like, I would love to see this get adapted.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I'm excited to like read the entire graphic novel and like get it from start to finish. Because I mean, really for me, all that I've really had is, what I've read on the internet.
Yeah.
Like
and I watched a shit version of it on Prime Time.
So oh man.
I'm glad. Yeah, cheers to that.
Yeah.
I'm
Never
glad
say
that
no to
you.
that.
I'm glad that you said it was the bad one because, like, when I watched it, I was kind of feeling that, like this is not that good.
The most recent versions are quite literally like the worst.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. I was like trying to suck some like sort of like what can I take from this to ask in the interview, and I was like,
it's part of the reason why the younger generation of Asian Americans are not interested in Monkey King anymore, because they keep diluting the story and they keep just making it, something that it's not supposed to be. Like, of course, there's going to be kung fu, of course, there's going to be action.
Yeah,
but it's not supposed to be only about that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the Monkey King, he's not, like I said, he's not supposed to be Bruce Lee. Like, leave that to Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
He's, of course, he can fight. That's his thing, but he's supposed to be, snarky. He's supposed to be a wise ass. He's got to be funny,
So
if he's not funny, then what's the point,
In your version of it, you had kind of mentioned earlier that in the original version, it's that he travels west to like get Buddhism from the Indians, and then so in your version, you said they're going to travel to West End.
To West Coast.
West Coast. Got you. Sorry.
In San Francisco, Chinatown, and they're going to hit every Chinatown along the way.
Awesome.
But finish in San Francisco and then bring what their learning, from what they pick up from this travel, this journey, back to New York to save New York.
That's awesome. I like
so
that.
Cool.
And you said your drawings are like more like urban wear, like hoodies and like sneakers and stuff like that.
So instead of picking out which breastplate to match their shoulder pads, they're picking which Nikes match their hoodie the best.
That's so awesome.
Pigsy only wears Adidas. Sandy only wears Fila, and Monkey only wears Nike. So like,
I love it.
We'll argue about that and everything. And then Tripitaka the monk, I've got her wearing like what do you call this? Crocs, which they're all going to give her grief over it.
I love that.
That's amazing. You can't hate on the Crocs though; they're comfortable.
That's her argument.
And they have a battle mode. You just
when you go on a journey across
strap back,
you got to be comfortable.
Exactly. That's incredible. I'm glad she gets it. Hopefully that wisdom rubs off on them too, and by the end they're all wearing Crocs.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah, probably not that, but so sorry. But yeah, so I mean, just a little bit more about you, Jerry. I mean, we talk about all things nerdy. Are there any like super nerdy projects that are coming out that you're excited about? Like comic related, graphic novels, just art in general, or?
Well, I mean, I can't help but notice that Shang-Chi is coming out.
Yeah, dude.
So I will say, like, when Shang-Chi was announced, a lot of the Asian American community just let out a major groan and a big eye roll, because I was like, it's just going to be a shitty kung fu movie. Like, who are we kidding? Like, the Shang-Chi story is not a very good one. It's not, I mean, in its concept, in its birth, it's just a Bruce Lee ripoff. When it came out, they just wanted to make a Bruce Lee comic because Bruce Lee was so cool back then,
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of like, man, this is just going to be a really bad kung fu movie. A cliche, corny, with terrible humor kung fu movie, then I saw the trailer, and I gotta say, it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it looks cool.
I'm
excited for it.
I watched the trailer like 3 times, like right when it dropped. I was like, holy shit, that was so good.
So yeah, I am pretty excited over that. Besides that, it's just the typical stuff. I'm looking forward to Loki.
Yeah. Have you been watching any of the like WandaVision and then?
I hated WandaVision.
Really? Oh no.
Really?
I loved Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Okay, so you've redeemed yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I mean, WandaVision to me, the first like 4 episodes could have been done in 1 episode. In mine.
It did take. It took a long time to get where they were going.
I'm okay with slow pacing, but stuff has to happen.
Yeah.
Just because it's slow doesn't mean nothing happens.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, we were lucky enough that when we actually started covering WandaVision, we covered the first 4 episodes in 1 episode.
Yep.
So.
If you jam it all into 1 episode, it's probably going to be much better,
Right, yeah. It's cool, yeah.
Very fair.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier was amazing. And then, yeah, I can't wait for Loki. That's, what, next month? June? Or is it July?
In June.
June, yeah.
I just finished watching Invincible last night.
I watched the last episode again this morning because I loved it so much. It's so good.
What do you think of it?
I mean, I liked it a lot. I don't remember it being that fast in the comics, so I'm going to reread the trades. But I mean, it was great. I liked it. I'm really happy that they renewed it for 2 more seasons. We mentioned that in our last podcast. Yeah. I'm stoked about it. That show
I haven't read the comics for it, but I want to because
the comics are awesome. They're so much better than the cartoon's fantastic.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, the comics are that good.
Well, I mean, I believe it based on how the show went and who's behind it and everything like that. So
So like as you know now, because we talked about it before we started recording, but one of the things that we do on the show is we always have a cocktail in hand. What is your drink of choice, and what are you drinking?
I am drinking Oban 14 year. It's my favorite drink. I love whiskey. I love Japanese whiskeys. I love Kavalan. It's a Taiwanese whiskey. But I got to say, you try out all these new fancy drinks. They're super expensive, super trendy, and it's always, a lot of fun to try them out. I can't help but keep going back to Oban. It's just the yummiest out of all of them.
How do you spell it? I'm going to write it down. I'm going to try it.
Oban.
Oh, that's super. You
that's
probably could have guessed
remember. That. Yeah.
Fantastical.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to check it out.
14 year. All right.
And I do like Chivas 18 year as well, actually. That's
Chivas? Yeah. That is
very
pretty
underrated.
Good. Yeah. So, Jerry, where can people find you online if they want to, first off, like, back the Kickstarter, but also if they just want to, like, follow your art and
I guess I'm on a few of the social media things, but I'm most active on Instagram, where my handle is Epic Props. Website is just epicprops.com. And obviously right now I'm doing this Kickstarter until June 4th. We hit our goal in under 48 hours. So right now we're all about the stretch goals. So, back the campaign, get the book, and give back to the community. If you just go to Kickstarter and do a search for The Monkey King under comics and graphic novels, I believe it pops up pretty quick because we became a project that Kickstarter loves in like the first 3 hours. Everything's honestly, like, I was scared. I was really skeptical. I was on the phone with my friend right before I launched it, and I was like, I feel like it's going to fail. And then literally like 3 hours later, it became a project that, Kickstarter loved. And I've never experienced anything like this. I'm not someone that gets good luck, and this has been pretty amazing. And I just can't wait to give back money to small businesses, honestly. I think it's so much fun. I was fortunate enough I've been interviewed by the local news station here in New York called NY1 News. They randomly interviewed me at New York Comic Con one year just because I had a Mets shirt on, and the reporter is a Mets fan. So he's like, fuck it, I'm going to interview this guy, His name is Roger Clark. He's awesome. And then he, coincidentally enough, for my art show, it was during the Lunar New Year. So he came to Pearl River to check out Pearl River. And then when he realized that I had an art show there, he requested that I get interviewed again. So we kind of know each other because we talk about the Mets and everything. And then I just floated it to him. I was like, hey, Roger, just want to let you know, like, I'm going to be donating some money to like small business in Chinatown. I don't know, man. Like, I'm not asking you for anything, but I just wanted you to know. And then he was just like, we'll follow you around. Let's do it. You know?
Oh, yeah.
This on
Dude,
TV.
that's so cool.
This is what New York needs right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, not just from this past year, but like just in general. I mean, what you're doing is huge. Because like you said, you know, you fall into the realm of, you know, you click donate and you're like, I feel good. And you're like, but did it do good?
Yeah, you know.
So like by what you're doing, it's so much more.
You know, like you just, again, like my family, we have a small business. We're suffering right now. And then you're talking about all this money going to small business. I'm like, we didn't get any of that.
Yeah. Where is it going?
Yeah.
You know?
Look, not that $250 is going to save any business at all. But I would think if someone came into our store and handed my dad $250 and said it's because he was Kickstarting a comic,
yeah,
that would mean a lot to our family. You know, like what it represents is more than the money itself. You know,
yeah, that's amazing.
So I cannot wait to like this is. I've been dying. I was hoping that this. So I had made the decision like whether or not I hit this goal, I'm going to be donating money. I don't even care if I lose money. I don't even care if I lose money. I know I got to do this. You know, so the fact that we've already hit our first stretch goal, and I think we're like just like $300 away from the second stretch goal.
Yeah.
I've kind of already decided that I don't even care. Like the stretch goal tiers are basically just there as a formality. I'm just going to go ahead and like donate a bunch of money to someone. Yeah. I don't even care anymore. You know?
And then you said the guy from the news. Did you say his name was Ryan Clark?
Roger Clark. He's the
Roger Clark. I'm so sorry. He's going to follow you around and kind of videotape it. That's
because
awesome.
New York needs some good stories nowadays.
Yeah.
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 Hopefully this can be one of them. You know, I don't know.
Yeah. Man, I love that.
I mean, talking to you, I would say it's definitely a good story. Like, it's going to be one of those.
You know, it's a comic. A comic book is going to get to do this. I think that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's like the best thing in the world. Yeah. Especially for us.
Everyone that's backed this book so far, like, thank you so much for letting me do this, for letting me and our team have the opportunity to give money back to the community and, like, have something positive happen, you know? There's attacks on Asian people literally every single day here in New York. So the fact that we get to do this is just going to be so freaking awesome. And I have no one to thank but everyone that's backed this book so far.
That's awesome. Yeah, dude. So plug the Kickstarter one more time. Like, do you have like a specific URL that like gets people there quickly, or should people just go to Kickstarter and search it?
Yeah, Kickstarter.com, and under the search, just look up the Monkey King. Then it'll ask like under which category. It's obviously a comic book, and typically, because my anxiety's been going nuts, and I've been checking it like every 2 seconds. It's basically it always pops up near the top. Thankfully, because we hit our goals so quickly, and because it's a project that Kickstarter loves, so it's near the top of the search engine.
Awesome.
You know, like there's a picture of the crew hanging out at the subway station. So, you know, that if that helps makes it any easier for people to find. But if they go to my Instagram, there's obviously a link on my Instagram profile. And
what was that again? That was Epic Props.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, you know, please feel free to shoot me any questions. I respond to everybody. I think it's important. And I love explaining the stretch goals to people. Like, I can't get enough of that. I think it's probably one of the best things I've ever done with my life.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with that being said, I mean, we're just kind of going to wrap up the episode just really quickly. I mean, obviously, thank you again so much, Jerry, for making time to come on our show.
Guys,
we're so excited for the comic to release.
Yeah.
And actually get our hands on it, because for other people, our listeners, you know, we're going to be doing some giveaways with some of Jerry's stuff, because we are gonna be giving to this Kickstarter, because it's an incredible project, and the art is so cool. Just from like the little teasers that you see on the Kickstarter, it looks so cool. I'm so excited. But yeah, so on top of that, we did launch our Patreon page a couple weeks ago. We're gonna have some bonus extra behind the scenes from this interview with Jerry that might not make it on YouTube, of us joking around and Jerry telling Jake that he watched the shittiest version.
The shit version.
Possible.
Oh man.
And just watching
so
Jake's just motivation die on the inside.
I told Chad before you guys joined the meeting, I was like, watch him tell me I watched like the worst possible version of this movie. Yeah. So that was a bummer.
Let's give away some T-shirts for the Patreon members, man.
Yeah. So when we're done recording, we'll just have you stick around and we'll exchange some information, and because we're gonna send you some stuff too. So
yeah. So we'll definitely do that. And then also, it's the month of May, so that's Mustache May. So for the next week, leading up to our live stream, we are doing a competition. Anyone who votes either hashtag Team Jake or hashtag Team Chad on any of our posts. You vote for which host you like more, and the loser has to shave a mustache of the winner's choice. And we'll do that live on the 15th when we do our next episode. With that being said, Jerry.
What do you say, Jerry?
Are you Team Chad or Team Jake?
Is there a way I can choose like someone else, a third party, so you guys both gotta lose?
let's just do it this
if
way.
we tie, we both will shave. With that being said, I am winning by a margin. Which is funny to me because I work from home.
Chad kind of gets a leg up just because he's got the bigger beard and everything,
Son of a bitch.
Wait, so are you saying you would rather have me in a mustache or Jake in a mustache?
Well, I'd kind of like to see Jake with the handlebars.
Ah, good, damn it.
You heard it here, everybody. Jerry Ma is Team Chad.
I'm not gonna lie, pretty interesting,
Son of a gun. Shit.
Yeah. I love it.
That's not what I wanted to hear from you, Jerry. Alan voted for Chad too. That makes me so mad.
It's the full beard. It's hard to beat that,
I just shaved. Mine was probably bigger than I just shaved it down like a month ago.
We were pretty close, and then he was like, "It's getting warm," and he like shaved it down. And I was like, "You're weak."
Fuck.
So yeah, with that, we're gonna go ahead and cheers out our episode. So Jerry,
take it away, Jerry.
You want to be the one to close us out?
Well, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure, and this is All Things Nerd Podcast, baby. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks, dude.